This program is brought to you in association with Louis Vuitton Watches, official partner of the America's Cup World Series.
Welcome to America's Cup Discovered, and welcome to Naples, Italy for the final event of the 2012-2013 America's Cup World Series. By the halfway stage, the racing had been dominated by controversy and collisions, and emotions were running high between old rivals from Italy and New Zealand.
Pretty borderline. There's a rule which says you have to avoid collision resulting in serious damage.
There's a long story between us and Team New Zealand, and every time when we racing each other, it's a big fight.
In this program, it was a match racing special where London 2012 Olympic gold medalists Ben Ainslie and Tom Slingsby went head-to-head on one side of the semifinal draw, while on the other side, it was an all-Italian affair between two Luna Rossa skippers, Francesco Bruni and Chris Draper. Ainslie and Slingsby are AC-72 teammates with Oracle Racing in San Francisco, but in the Naples semifinal, they were World Series racetrack rivals.
He's staying hot. We're kind of tight on late here. Hey, what's that, 5-5? Yeah, 5.
We join the action with Gary Jobson and Ken Reed.
Okay, it's just us in the line. Trim on, big trim on.
Slingsby told me that they've raced against each other 7 times since they've been here in match races, and he claims he's up 1. I asked Ben Ainslie the same thing. Slightly different story.
Slingsby has a windward position here. It's going to be hard for Ainslie to actually get to windward. You can see how far separated they are. Ainslie's going to sail slow coming up to the line, and Slingsby has a good opportunity to take this start with more speed.
It's called gapping off, and Slingsby gapped off enough that he might be able to roll right over the top of Ben Ainslie here. Really good move. Subtle move, but a good move by the young gun.
Both boats had a clean start. Ben Ainslie couldn't believe that Slingsby wasn't over the line, but he sails over, blocking the wind of Ainslie, and this is a nice advantage to Slingsby as they come into the first turn.
Now this is going to be a short reach to gate number 2, and as you said, Slingsby put himself into a perfect position.
Curious that they didn't roll out that Jenniker right away.
I got to admit, it was very curious they didn't roll out, but it looks like it's going to pay off. What they did was simplify their maneuver by just going from a jib reach, really it's called a jibe set, from going from a jib reach to unfurling your Jenniker on the opposite tack. Nice smooth move.
So you have a choice here, which gate, and if you look at the gate, Ken, you can see how close it is to the seawall. So maybe this lower gate will be the better one to go to stay away from all that choppy water. That's what Ainslie's going to do.
Looks to me like Ainslie has a problem with his Jenniker, Gary, and Slingsby just nailed that ley line. It's really about ley lines, and it's so hard to do. There's no instrumentation helping these guys out. Really clean rounding by Slingsby. Looks like a veteran, doesn't he?
One, tacking, bad waves out.
So attack coming from Oracle Team USA. They look to be on a good ley line for this next gate. And so far, Tom Slingsby has just gotten better with each race.
And how about this? Ainslie has a good puff of wind. The wind is bent to the left, so he's sailing a closer course to the mark and has closed it up. The boats are within a length now.
So what's coming, this is a very similar situation that we had yesterday in the first race with Bruni and Team New Zealand. Right now, the port tack boat is desperately trying to get into that zone and get a piece of Oracle Team USA.
Ainslie's into the circle first and is on the inside, so does have the right of way.
Here we go, one more time, they're gonna be very close. And unlike the Italians and the Kiwis, they play it smart.
Well, he's played it smart because they were just far enough ahead that they were able to cross. That Slingsby was able to cross, but Ainslie made up a lot of time in a short period there.
He tried to get at him and do what we call a Hollywood. You know, he tried to stick his nose up and try to fake the jury into thinking that he might have been fouled.
Here's one more time on virtual eye.
So you can see Ainslie on the right gets to the circle first. Slingsby, however, is far enough ahead that he's able to make the cross and get away cleanly. While with Slingsby and a team are racing here in Naples, Ken, you think John Kostecki and James Spithill are back in San Francisco watching this?
I asked yesterday if Jimmy should be afraid of his job. I think the answer was absolutely not. But these guys are putting on a show. One little unforced error there by not getting to the lay line, but like I said before, it's really hard to call these lay lines so far away. One little puff of breeze really changes the dynamics. Could be 10, 15 degrees of angle of heading, so it's hard.
So job complete, and Slingsby has put himself in a great position right now. So at gate number 4, USA Oracle Tom Slingsby with the lead over Ben Ainslie Racing, and barring any major catastrophe, they have punched their ticket into the final as Ben Ainslie Racing has yet to reach the 3-boat length mark. And as they come to the line, it's time to start thinking about the final. Oracle Team USA with the win in semifinal number 1.
Italy was assured of a team to cheer for in the final. The second semi was a Luna Rossa in-house contest. Chris Draper versus Francesco Bruni.
Both boats recalled.
Both boats over in a match race. It's been a long time since I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
Penalty complete. They now go to gate number 1. It's the Italians in semifinal number 2, battling for the right to face off with the Americans tomorrow in the final.
Well, Draper's crew has a lot more experience match racing, so even though they're a couple lengths behind at this point, look for them to find a way to catch up.
Bruni has the lead, Chris Draper trailing, and it looks like they might split the course.
So here it is, a battle of momentum right now. Bruni's actually very slow, almost dead downwind, trying to get around the mark. Draper's going to split to the other side. And again, we're going to see this. What this gate does for this type of style of racing is it gives the guy behind a chance to catch up. These gates have been one of the best inventions in the America's Cup racecourse. These waves are brutal on starboard tack. These boats are struggling. It's just not windy enough for the amount of waves that are actually out on the racecourse.
Draper looking for a smooth spot in the waves to make his maneuver.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Notice how fast he spun the boat there, Ken, trying to get it right through that wave.
And he really looked for a smooth spot. You really heard him say, looking for a smooth spot. This is critical, and it could be big gains and losses, as we saw with Ainslie in that first race.
In contrast, Bruni makes his tack, slams into a wave, and slows down, giving Draper what looks like a lead.
Francesco Bruni on the right.
Close cross. Draper decides not to risk it. Big bear off, huge bear off.
Well, he threw away about 3 boat lengths making that bear off, but the smart move, you know, now he's got a starboard advantage on the other side, and maybe the waves are a little bit smoother as they head inshore.
It was clearly a last-second decision. You'd love to see that bear away much smoother, but he has to go almost parallel going in the other direction in the other boat, and that's not exactly textbook on how you want to do it.
Francesco Bruni with the lead. Luna Rossa Swordfish. Chris Draper, the helmsman for Luna Rossa Piranha, trailing. So as they come to gate number 3, the Italians going 1 and 2 as Luna Rossa Swordfish leads with Francesco Bruni. As he will take it in, he'll have the decision to make.
Yep, it's time to do something different. This is going to turn into a big lead here. So if you're Chris Draper, you're thinking one more leg to go. I got to do something. I got to try to split.
Well, Bruni sails off on port. We can see him at the top of the screen. Draper now coming around. Whoa. Has a nosedive there.
So as they approach gate number 4, it is Luna Rossa Swordfish. Francesco Bruni, Xavi Fernandez, Max Serena doing the good work out there today. And what a performance by them as they will bring it home. Barring any major problems here, they will cross the line first. Chris Draper finally getting to gate number 4, but problems for them, they are well behind. So we will have ourselves an American-Italian showdown tomorrow on the Mediterranean.
Very exciting, and maybe 2 boats that we'll see in the America's Cup later. So you can be sure these tapes will be viewed by the crews all summer long to see what techniques they use.
Semi-final number 2 goes to Luna Rossa Swordfish.
So this was it. The America's Cup World Series Naples match race final. Oracle Team USA Slingsby versus Francesco Bruni's Luna Rossa. Let's go to the commentators.
Bruni's doing a terrific job keeping away from the starting line as the leader back into the box. Stay away from the starting line so you can't get pushed there too early by Slingsby. Right now you have Slingsby hooked, what's called hooked to weather. Right now Bruni's very much in control of this start. As long as he accelerates on time, the only danger here right now is that he doesn't accelerate on time, but Bruni is in the position to prevent Slingsby from rolling over the top.
Bruni very late to accelerate there. That was the difference. Slingsby got a little edge. Both boats struggling to get around the pin here.
But right now, Gary, Bruni's showing his match race prowess. He's just going to wait here. He's going to wait. He can wait all day long and actually try to prevent Slingsby from getting inside that committee boat. Fantastic move by Francesco Bruni.
The big question, can he maneuver around? He has more speed, so he should be able to do it.
So the race is on. Francesco Bruni absolutely pinning Tom Slingsby to the inside, and he has the early lead. Now remember, this quick reach on mark number 1, and then it's to gate number 2.
Looks like a bit of a wind shift on the race course. These guys are actually able to fly their Gennikers to mark number 1.
And you can see those big puffs, Kenny.
Remember, this is the final match race of the day.
Very aggressive by Slingsby, holding on to his Genniker right at the last second, going around the opposite gate to get the boats out of phase. The game now will be finding the good wind on the windward leg. I think Slingsby's made a great move. The curious thing to me is why Bruni has it tacked, and there he goes right now to cover. The right move by the Italian.
Well, despite the fact that the hometown football club is playing today, Napoli, plenty of fans turning out in the seawall, and it's the Italians that have the early lead. For some people watching say, well, this is kind of boring, no action here, but this is an ultimate chess match, Ken.
Classic match race move by Bruni. He really set him up. He hooked underneath Slingsby and then just stayed there. And again, you don't care. You could start a day late for this matter, as long as you start in front of your competitor. You don't care about the starting gun. Of course, you can't jump the line, but at the same time, just sit there, put him in as bad a spot as possible, and off you go. Really, really, really textbook by Francesco Bruni.
Let's go. Okay, go on. Yep.
Coming into this ley line right now, Bruni just has to try to make that left-hand gate. That's very, very important for him right now. Minimize maneuvers. Same thing for Slingsby coming across. He has to make the right-hand gate. There'll be a natural split here just in trying to minimize the maneuvers. Again, it's probably something Slingsby isn't too upset about right now, but he's going to have a short time to that wall.
So at gate number 3, it's Francesco Bruni, the Italians first through. Tom Slingsby trailing now by more than 15 seconds.
Go for it.
All right, so the big question is, and we'll put you on board, Kenny Reed, if you were Tom Slingsby right now, reading the wind that you know how and your tacticians, what do you have to do to try and catch up?
Well, you just heard Tom Slingsby say, let's keep it close. There's another full lap. It's really shifty out on the race course. He has to be patient. It's a big lead right now by Francesco Bruni. He's showing he knows these waters clearly, kind of showing his tactical prowess in a way. You know, as a non-driver, he's sure making this look easy.
Gate number 4, again, it's the Italians in the lead. Francesco Bruni, Luna Rossa, Swordfish out in front. This is the final match race of the day, going head-to-head with the Americans and Tom Slingsby's Oracle USA.
A bit of an unforced error right there. Obviously a big puff of wind from the right-hand side of the course caught these guys off guard. They actually didn't get their Genniker down till a little bit late. Let's see if Slingsby gets caught in the same predicament. and he doesn't. He nails it. Really good crew work, good pickup by Slingsby. He'll gain a little bit back there.
Todd, as I'm looking at it on the water here, the match race tactics of just staying out of phase did not work early on. And what Slingsby simply has to do is sail from one good wind shift to the next, and he can make up some time.
They clearly caught up a fair chunk of Bruni's lead at that leeward mark, just with Bruni and their team getting caught off guard a little bit by that puck that came in at the last second. They came ripping in there a little too fast. Classic match race move by Bruni to tack on top of Slingsby. They'll split away from the dirty air, bad air created by that big wing of the Italians.
Slingsby tried to hold on there. He could see a good gust of wind coming. And while he might have tacked a little earlier just to get out of phase, waiting for the wind was the correct move by Slingsby.
You heard Tom Slingsby say, let me know when he tacks. If the other boat tacks, if Bruni tacks, Slingsby's going to go right at the same time because he wants to try to keep this in the middle of the race course. If he goes all the way to one side, it'll be easy for Bruni to pin him to that side and take away half of the race course from him. He wants to keep out of phase.
Boy, just like that, the wind goes down for Slingsby.
Gonna go high groove, grind it up.
Wind down for both boats.
Yeah, we're about to get a big lift and pressure here. Go runner.
Oh, this is a tactician's nightmare, Todd. This is really hard. No lead is safe on a day like today. Believe me, no lead is safe. And Bruni is finding this right now.
Go big one, Sam.
Look at this cross. And that's about as close as they've been all race long.
And the reason being, Oracle is keeping the race in the center right now. He's not allowing himself to get pinned out to one side.
Francesco Bruni on the right side of your screen. So as he set himself up now, Ken, for the ley line and a straight shot into gate number 5.
This is full on, Todd. The breeze is all over the place right now. Big leads, big deficits. We're going to see a tight cross right here, and it looks like Slingsby might have gotten him.
Slingsby does get him.
3, 2, 1.
Not only gets him, but gets him with enough of a lead that he can hit him. This is an incredible turnaround. Incredible turnaround. Keeping the race in the middle. Fantastic job by this young skipper. Fantastic job.
This is proximity to Swordfish and authorizing speed. The leeward gate has been short.
Really soft. Really soft.
Talking about the soft wind. All right, if you're now Francesco Bruni, Kenny Reed, what are you going to do?
Well, he actually tacked right in the bad air of Slingsby coming into this mark. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go a little further. He tried to get a thin ley line here to the left-hand gate. You can see he's going very slow. Can't get a hull out of the water, and Slingsby's going to take off. I'm surprised they tacked so soon and in the bad air of Oracle.
Yeah, let's go. Let's settle it down. We're all good. Anytime, man.
That was a big mistake to attack so early by Swordfish there. One more length or 3 seconds would have saved them about 3 lengths coming around this mark.
Exactly right.
So as the jibe comes for Oracle Team USA, we go back and look at that cross one more time on leg number 5. Here it was.
So here's a quick duck by Slingsby underneath, but he doesn't go all the way to the wall. He actually tacks shy of it to try to use his starboard tack advantage again out in the middle of the race course. He gets a little bit lucky, little right-hand shift, and all of a sudden, voila, off he goes. Incredible, incredible turn of events.
It's Slingsby out in the front. Remember, he trailed for the first almost 5 complete legs after getting pinned on the start, and here he is now with a lead, and the only thing he has left to do is negotiate this final gate.
Really struggling here.
You know, I'm not sure they think it's incredible. He's been racing a lot, wins a gold medal in the Olympics. It's just natural for him to, here's where we are, we'll do the best we can, play some good wind shifts while staying out of phase, and it worked. It was a beautiful performance.
Well, as a novice, one thing that I heard on the boat, which I thought was so impressive by Tom Slingsby, is when they were down early, it looked like they had no wind. He said, fellas, relax, it's a long race. And it proved true.
You got that right. Thank goodness on Super Sunday here, the final match race, it's 2 times around instead of 1 time around, or it would have been a very different situation. But just a terrific performance by these guys. It's It's going to be hard to lose this race. It have to be a miracle here for Francesco Bruni to make up this deficit with such a short time to go.
That was bloody good.
Come on, boys.
At the line, the match race final goes to Tom Slingsby and Oracle Team USA.
Kathy Ryan.
Slingsby, Sam Newton, Kinley Fowler, Rome Kirby, Pete Van Nieuwenhausen, just all-star performance.
Yeah, business class would be nice home, Kathy Ryan.
Talking about their exit, you know, despite the fact that the Italians do not get the win here, it goes to the Americans. The Italians do cheer because they do appreciate what young Tom Slingsby was able to do. Remember, folks, stepping in for Jimmy Spithill, who's back in San Francisco training and getting ready for the big showdown in San Francisco and defending the America's Cup. There it is complete. And the Moet Moment honors go to Tom Slingsby and Oracle Team USA.
Oracle Team USA Slingsby came out on top of the Naples America's Cup World Series match racing. Was he able to bring home the double by winning the Fleet Racing 2? Find out next time on America's Cup Discovered. The America's Cup Summer is shaping up to be an epic contest. Top international teams will be racing 72 foil-borne speed machines around the San Francisco Bay at closing speeds of around 100 kilometers per hour. Once a challenger prevails, they go up against the might of America, Oracle Team USA, in a 9-race shootout for sailing's biggest prize, the America's Cup. From July through to September 2013, the Bay Arena becomes the Bay Arena as the AC-72s test the world's best sailors on the fastest boats. So stay tuned. Stay logged on to the 34th America's Cup. Do not miss it. Do not go away.
This program is brought to you in association with Louis Vuitton Watches, official partner of the America's Cup World Series.